All right, listen up, everyone. Welcome to the Exam Control Tower. I am your tower director, and right now we are initiating an elite, high-stakes emergency simulation for your Arabic 9680 syllabus. Consider this your exclusive, top-secret clearance into the actual grading room. If you've ever sat there wondering what magically separates a standard passing grade from that elite, untouchable A-star tier, you need to listen very closely to what I'm about to tell you, because the difference between a B and an A-star, it comes down entirely to how you master set texts 2026 Section 2. Specifically, we're talking about Shams al Nahar and Fajr al Kadhib. Now, this isn't just about leisurely reading the texts, not at all. It is about navigating the intense, suffocating time pressure of the exam environment like a seasoned air traffic controller managing a massively busy airspace. So today, we are going to take those abstract, confusing assessment objectives and transform them into a hyper-structured, high-yield exam strategy.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is today's radar grid initialization. We've got 5 vectors to clear. 1. Core cognitive domains. 2. The method mark strategy. 3. Top examiner warnings. 4. Critical analysis. And 5. Our final exam strategy.
All right, Vector 1, cognitive domains. Let's completely demystify this grading process.
As a senior examiner and your tower director, I literally have to ask this critical question right off the bat. Why do students find multi-stage analysis and snagging those method marks so incredibly difficult? I see it flashing red on the radar every single exam season. Let me introduce you to 2 of my rookie radar operators to explain exactly why this happens. Picture this. Over on console 1, we have router Alex. Now, Alex works hard, but Alex gets completely bogged down in the minor details. Alex creates this infinite, dizzying holding pattern around one single quote about illusion in Fajr al Kadhib and just circles it endlessly, never actually landing the main argument. It's a waste of fuel. Then on console 2, we have router Sam. Sam is sweating. Sam panics under the immense time pressure and clears arguments for landing way too fast, jumping to wild conclusions without ever verifying the structural safety regulations of the text. Both of these operators fail. Why? Because they treat the exam subjectively. They go off feeling. To win, you absolutely must treat this exam systematically.
To stop acting like Alex and Sam, you really need to understand your flight instruments. The assessment objectives for this section target 3 very distinct cognitive domains. First up, knowledge and understanding. Second, analysis. And third, evaluation. Successful candidates demonstrate absolute, unwavering competence across all 3 of these domains simultaneously. Think about it like this. The entire theoretical architecture of evaluating Princess Kamar's massive clash between idealism and reality in Shams al Nahar. That rests entirely on your ability to provide precise definitions, map out the causal relationships, and build a highly structured argument. You literally cannot just rely on a vague feeling about the text. You need a precise, calculated approach to get the aircraft on the ground safely.
Now guys, this right here is your absolute secret weapon pulled straight from the Cambridge Principal Examiner reports. Quote, candidates referencing cross-topic connections achieve significantly higher marks. Let me repeat that because it's absolutely crucial. Integrating your textual analysis of Shams al Nahar and Fajr al Kadhib with other areas of your Arabic 9680 syllabus is exactly how you unlock the highest possible grade bands. It proves to the examiner that you aren't just staring blindly at a single blip on the radar. It shows you understand the entire airspace, and you see exactly how every single text interacts within the broader cultural and literary themes. That is how you show true mastery. Moving smoothly onto Vector 2, the method mark strategy, we are shifting from what examiners want to exactly how you process it systematically. Okay, imagine a high-tariff past paper question is flashing onto our circular radar screen right now. It's an incoming heavy aircraft. It's low on fuel, and we need to guide it in safely. To do that, we use this exact 6-step standardized sequence. Step 1, deconstruct the question. Identify the key elements and command words before you even pick up your pen to write. Step 2, extract the relevant data from the stimulus materials. Step 3, select your analytical framework and lock in the relevant principles. Step 4, execute your analysis with crystal clear, documented working. Step 5, verify your results. Does it actually answer the prompt? And finally, Step 6, present conventionally in the appropriate academic format. Let's look back at our rookie operators for a second. Router Alex? Alex is perpetually stuck on Step 2, extracting way too much data without any framework. Router Sam is practically causing a collision by trying to jump straight to Step 6 without ever verifying the results. You need to follow all 6 steps in strict, unbroken sequence to maintain a safe glide slope. So the crucial takeaway here is this. Method marks exist because you are actively rewarded for the structured process, not just your final polished conclusion. The presentation of information in this Arabic 9680 section follows incredibly strict conventions. We're talking proper headings, correct terminology, appropriate formatting, and clear annotations. Now, if you hit an unexpected structural block mid-paragraph, maybe your mind goes blank under the time pressure, you don't panic. You deploy an emergency formatting template like PEEL, Point Evidence Explanation Link. Use PEEL to forcefully guide your sentence back onto the glide slope. Clear notation and systematic processing actually earn you points, saving your grade even if your final conclusion isn't 100% perfect. Process matters. Let's get into Vector 3, top examiner warnings straight from the principal examiner reports. Pay attention, this is where points vanish.
Okay, tower transmission check. Before we clear this next response for touchdown, ensure your transponder is fully updated. I need you to subscribe to @AceTheExams right now and turn on all notifications. Done? All right, transmission verified. We are now running an interactive runway workshop. I call this drill debris on the runway. You, as the operator, need to spot these 3 massive hazards that ruin exam papers. First up, examiners explicitly report that students consistently confuse cause and effect. Do not mix up the internal trigger with the external outcome. For instance, a classic mistake is confusing Princess Kamar's internal philosophical awakening with the actual external societal consequences in Shams al Nahar. They are linked, but they are not the same thing. Second hazard. Students completely forget to check their format and presentation in the heat of the moment. Remember those strict conventions we literally just talked about? Don't abandon them when the clock is ticking. And the third hazard, answers that are incredibly generic and totally ignore the specific context given in the stimulus materials. You have to find this debris and sweep it completely off your runway before the examiner even sees it.
And this brings us to a massive flashing amber warning light on our console, Examiner Alert. The principal examiner reports reveal that candidates consistently and repeatedly confuse key terminology. Listen to me, you absolutely must define your terms before using them in your extended responses, whether it's dramatic irony, existential motif, or any other literary device. Do not ever assume the examiner knows what you mean, and definitely do not jump into some deep, complex analysis without establishing a clear definitional foundation first. Think about it. If you launch a massive aircraft without confirming its call sign with the tower, you are literally going to cause a crash. Define your terms, every single time.
Moving on to Vector 4, Critical Analysis. Welcome to the A-star evaluation standard. And this visual right here brilliantly illustrates exactly what top-tier comparative analysis looks like on the radar. To evaluate Shams al Nahar and Fajr al Kadhib effectively, you have to balance both sides of the screen. Look at the left side, identifying similarities. That requires explicit, concrete textual evidence. Now look at the right side, identifying differences. That also requires explicit textual evidence. But guys, the work doesn't stop there. You must actively use comparative connectives to bridge these two sides together, ultimately drawing firm, logical conclusions about their relative importance. You can't just list facts in isolation. You have to show the examiner the dynamic relationship between them. That's the analysis. Because at the end of the day, top-scoring candidates demonstrate elite evaluative thinking. And let me be clear. This is not just reciting plot points from memory. Are you just blindly accepting the narrator's word as the absolute truth? Because you really shouldn't be. Evaluative thinking requires you to actively question the underlying assumptions made within the text itself. It means you are genuinely considering alternative interpretations of the narrative. And crucially, evaluating the quality of your evidence requires you to identify the limitations of that very evidence. Once you find those limitations, you use them to justify your final analytical decisions. It is a highly active, highly critical, and deeply engaged process. Finally, we have reached Vector 5, Final Exam Strategy, Visual Hacks, and your next steps. Let's quickly recap our fuel to mark budget formula. In that exam hall, you have a strictly limited amount of time. That time is your fuel. You need to spend it incredibly efficiently by prioritizing those high-yield method marks, setting up clear theoretical architectures from the start, defining your terms early, and always pushing for that evaluative depth. Now, before we log this successful full-mark landing sequence for today, I want to give you a highly effective insider study hack for your final prep. I want you to encode the complex concepts, causal relationships, and structural elements of Shams al Nahar and Fajr al Kadhib using the visual story method.
Literally turn these dry analytical frameworks into a vivid visual narrative in your mind. This drastically reduces your cognitive load during the actual exam, ensuring you don't panic under pressure like Router Sam or get completely lost in the weeds like Router Alex.
So, as we power down the radar grid on today's simulation, I want to leave you with this provocative thought. Have you actually checked your analytical assumptions today? Ask yourself honestly, are you truly analyzing the text or are you just summarizing the plot? To ensure you are fully prepared for absolutely every possible exam emergency, make sure you hit that subscribe button at Ace the Exams right now. Enable the notification bell so you never miss a critical alert. And drop a comment down below telling us which Arabic 9680 paper gives you the absolute most anxiety. Keep practicing those past papers with systematic precision, trust your instruments, and we will see you back here in the control tower for the next masterclass. Touchdown confirmed.